You think everyone just wants sex all the time? That pain should be tolerated for great sex? And that masturbating is cheating? Well, let's bust these myths and many more. Hello and welcome back to my channel. As always, I am Matt from Cleveland Sex Therapy. I'm a licensed clinical therapist and certified sex therapist. Our world is filled with toxicity and negative messaging that promotes so much shame within us. I see this all the time as a sex and relationship therapist. So I thought I would share with you my top 10 myths that I bust all the time as a certified sex therapist. Let's go. Well, let me get the number one myth that I bust on a daily basis out of the way first. Everyone thinks that desire just comes out of nowhere, and if it doesn't, then something is wrong with them. It is so rare that somebody looks at their partner and goes, "Hey, I want to have sex right now." And the other person goes, "Oh my God, I just had the same exact thought." We are so much more complex than that. In fact, vulva owners are way more complex than penis owners when it comes to desire. Not everyone just has this spontaneous light switch desire. So what do? Well, there's another form of desire out there called responsive desire. And you want to know something? All of us have access to experiencing it. So if you want more info about this, instead of me spending hours and hours talking about it, go check out Emily Nagoski's book, Come As You Are. This is such a great resource for everyone, but especially vulva owners, on figuring out and learning about responsive desire. Continuing along the desire train, not everyone has the desire to have sex. Remember, there is no such thing as a sex drive. This term has led us down this path of thinking that everybody just has desire. Asexuality, or a spectrum of sexual orientations, all about low to zero romantic or sexual desire, is common in this world. So before you go beating yourself up because you don't have sexual desire, try these two things. 1, see if your desire is responsive in nature. And 2, research asexuality and see if you fall on that spectrum. If this isn't purity culture at its finest, I don't know what is. Did you know that research shows that 98% of humans have fantasies and have them often? If you want all the research out there on fantasies and what are the top fantasies for vulva owners and penis owners, check out Dr. Justin Lehmiller's book, Tell Me What You Want. Being a human being allows us the ability to explore the vast expanse of the human imagination. Almost anything can be considered arousing for somebody. Sexual fantasizing is seen as a normal, healthy aspect of human sexuality. So the next time you are doing it, remember that this is quite common and you are certainly not alone. I come across this quite often, especially when dealing with people who have an extensive conservative religious background. We are all taught through our sex negative sex education that sex should be one way, between a man and a woman, with a penis going into a vagina, with the purpose of creating a child. Thankfully, those beliefs soon get challenged the older that we get and the more experiences that we have, which then leads us to engaging with our sexuality in a multitude of different ways. But this messaging still lingers. Remember, your sexuality is vast and never ending. It is a-okay if you want to explore and play around, especially you vulva owners. So don't shy away from it. Okay, so I will say I am hearing this message being promoted less and less the older that I get, which is amazing. But for those of you who are still stuck on it, let me ask you this question. Why do you feel like you have ownership over another person's body? What makes you feel so threatened by your partner's own self-pleasure? Start there, and hopefully soon you will realize what most of us know, which is that masturbation is scientifically proven to be healthy for our bodies and thus our relationships. Ugh, I hate this one so much, especially because it's geared towards vulva owners. Here are a few things with this myth. 1. Sex should never, ever be painful unless we are consenting to that pain. If you are having sex for the first time, or it's been the first time in a long time, and a penis is entering the vagina or the anus, some uncomfortableness is going to be expected. But if you are experiencing sharp pains, this is your body's way of telling you, abort the mission. This couldn't be more true for anal sex as well. This myth was truly created through purity culture as a way of scaring vulva owners to not have sex and not accessing their sexuality. Unfortunately, I still hear this today, and quite frankly, it pisses me off. And one thing I will say is that if it does hurt and you want to engage with this, take a little break and just remember that lube is your friend and maybe you need to start using it. Did you know that when they study the chemicals released when someone is experiencing love, they don't break it down the way we do? They don't study romantic love versus platonic love. They just study love. We for sure have the capacity of loving more than one person. We just put love in these different boxes. Think about it. We love more than one person every single day. I love my partner, and I love my best friends, and I love my family. I'm the one who is telling myself that these loves are different, but the chemicals that are being released are the same. I am all for people going out and saying that they just love one person and those people who do separate romantic love for platonic love. But when you go around preaching this as a universal truth, that's when we have a problem. First, does penetrative sex feel good? Yes, of course it can. And it's a great way of building emotional and sexual connection with somebody. Is it the only way to build emotional and sexual connection with somebody? Absolutely not. Penetrative sex is only one way of engaging in sexual activity, and quite frankly, it's limiting. There are so many ways of having a pleasurable sexual experience. So the next time you're going to have sex with somebody, talk to them about not engaging in penetration and see how much fun you can still have. Another one that comes directly from purity culture. With this one, it is seen that if you have sex too early, especially vulva owners, you've lost all the power and you are some second-class piece of garbage that doesn't deserve a relationship. This rule has the patriarchy written all over it. It prioritizes other forms of compatibility over sexual compatibility. There are literal people out there who think that they should sacrifice sex for the longevity of their relationship. The amount of times I've watched a movie or TV show and I hear one vulva owner talking to another vulva owner saying, "You don't marry the guy that gives you the best sex, you marry the man who is going to be the best father for your children. Why not both? Why settle? Why sacrifice? So you don't necessarily have to have sex on the first date, but have sex early and create that energy and that connection, and don't let it fall by the wayside. And last but not least, one of the main reasons why I will always have a job is this myth right here. Due to toxic relationship culture, we learn that the moment somebody enters the picture, we must focus on them 24/7. We must make sure that they have an orgasm. And although I am all for the equal opportunity of orgasms in a sexual encounter, especially for women and vulva owners, it is our job to take care of our own orgasms and talk to our partners about what will help us get there. If I'm just expecting my partner to penetrate me in the right way and just know, because I've told you several times before the exact way that I like to be penetrated or I like to be touched, I'm setting myself up for failure at least half the time because I'm expecting my partner to be a mind reader. It does not matter if you have told your partner 10 times how you like your clitoris to be stimulated. Tell them an 11th time if you want it to happen. All right, that's all I have. What was your favorite myth that I busted? What are some of these other myths that you've heard over the years? I'm so curious, so please comment down below. Until next time.